As Cheryl and Posh enjoyed a couple of slap-up salads, the rest of the wags went on a reported 2 grand drinking bender, and while they had no problems putting away their shots, the England team, as usual, did, and lost on penalties.
Do you know what? I'm absolutely honest, I don't even know the England score. I could tell you what Cheryl was wearing, though.
Thanks to the failure of the team and the antics of some of the wags, they were now held in only slightly higher regard than burglars on house arrest. Cheryl had to lose her wag tag.
One of the most important things that Cheryl did was she did distance herself from the wag. She pushed herself away. She doesn't want to be Colleen. She doesn't want to be Alex Curran. She doesn't want to be any of those people.
So Cheryl slammed the wag lifestyle.
She said wags were worse than benefit scroungers, benefit sheets, because she said, you know, they have nannies, they swan around all day, they don't do any work at all, buy whatever jewellery they like. And she said, what kind of example is that? What kind of aspiration is that for young women to have? Because she realises that that's what a lot of young girls want to do.
At the end of the day, she's an established pop star, you know, in her own right. She doesn't really need Ashley. She's just putting a divider down it, letting people know that she's not a scrounger.
By the autumn of 2006, scrounging was the last thing on Mr. and Mrs. Cole's minds. She'd just released a greatest hits album, and he had got a big money move to Chelsea. Things were going really well until he decided to bring out a book.
Well, I think Ashley Cole has got a bad reputation amongst football fans purely because of what he said in his autobiography.
It grabbed the headlines, but for all the wrong reasons. He revealed how he'd had to scrimp by on a measly salary of £1.3 million a year at former club Arsenal.
There's that great story about how he was driving down the road whilst the contract negotiations with Arsenal were going on. He got a call from his agent.
Ashley wanted £60,000 a week from his club Arsenal, but they only wanted to give him 55. Tight bastards.
And he was so shocked that he swerved off the road.
They're taking the piss.
Is that all I'm worth, he's saying?
What do they take me for?
And you're sitting there thinking, I spent 400 quid on my season ticket, you goon.
This is a real own goal for him. You know, to have said something like that is something a lot of people will remember and will talk about. And of course, immediately, you know, gets people's backs up, and you can understand it.
He was unfortunate to have a name like Ashley because it went so well with the nickname Cashley, and that stuck, and it's still stuck now.
He comes across as arrogant, and he comes across as a little bit full of himself, and that's the total opposite to Cheryl.
I think I've done my time at Arsenal. Whatever happened. That's over now. I'm not looking back at that.
But the Arsenal fans were.
Ashley Cole was a greedy bastard.
I think Ashley Cole is a cheating scumbag.
The most biggest plonker in the world.
Still, at least the Chelsea fans love him.
Ashley Cole's an arsehole.
Ashley Cole came to represent the greed of the modern-day footballer. He became a symbol of it.
Ashley was so unpopular, it even rubbed off on Cheryl.
She was saying that when she went to watch him at Chelsea, she was getting booed by the Chelsea fans. You know, and she was genuinely upset by this.
She may have been getting a few of Ashley's stray boos at football grounds, but the Girls Aloud bandwagon just kept on rolling.
She is a pop star. There is no question the word pop star, or whatever you want to call it, applies to this girl 150%.
I wasn't really a big fan. I was always a Spice Girl, you know, fan. Cheryl has made me obsessed with Girls Aloud.
In 5 years, they had produced 4 albums, sold out 3 UK tours, and were well on their way to having more consecutive top 10 hits than any other girl band, ever. Cheryl and her other 4 were getting bigger than Posh and her other 4.
They are just far and away, I mean, so far away from anything else, it's unbelievable. And there's nothing to touch them.
Wow, who are they? Those beautiful, stunning girls. That's Girls Aloud. And the routines got sexier, and the grooming, and it just came together, and it was so incredible. I mean, they were like movie stars.
And that was the next thing, as Cheryl and the girls got a cameo in the remake of the classic Centrinians movie. Much like the film, they were becoming a British institution. By the beginning of 2008, the storms of Lottergate, Cashley-gate and even Punch-Up-gate were behind them. But dark clouds returned, with allegations that Ashley had been playing away.
The idea of Sunday morning, Ashley and Cheryl is just horrendous.
Cheryl was thrown into absolute crisis. She never thought this was going to happen to her.
I just thought, how on earth are they going to get over this one, if it was true?
Ashley has never commented on the allegations, and at the time, Cheryl kept stum. But it looked like the marriage was on the rocks because her rock was nowhere to be seen. For weeks, the country was obsessed with her ring.
Why did you do it? Why did you do that thing to me?
The ring on, the ring off story was great PR, and I think you'll find this, you know, what the public don't realise out there is how so many celebrities play the paparazzi as well.
She basically grabbed the girls, went to Thailand in a very kind of Sex and the City-esque way. She showed a vulnerability.
No longer pretty Cheryl or feisty Cheryl. Now she was brave Cheryl.
In the most twisted, bizarre way, it boosted her public profile because there was a national outpouring of sympathy for this girl.
She became the martyr, and people just, they warmed to her, of course.
And all you could think of was, regardless of whether it was true or not, was poor bloody Cheryl.
It became this drama, and everybody was on Cheryl's side.
The whole nation really was screaming, you know, ditch him.
She handled it in a very dignified way. We never saw, you know, she didn't attack photographers or scream at photographers. She just behaved in a very decent way.
For a couple of months, she was brave at the airport, brave at the Brits, and even brave promoting a chocolate bar. Then she made the announcement that nobody expected to hear.
You know, that really was quite the making of Cheryl Cole, because the public really got behind her.
She admitted that there was problems and that she was going to work at it and that she married Ashley for life.
Some people said she was silly and soppy, but she's not soppy, actually. She knows what she's doing. She'll give him one more chance. And I think all of that together, that boosted her profile in the most bizarre way. It's not the way you'd want your profile boosted, but that's what happened.
It was the moment she arrived. Brave Cheryl had become a national treasure. As for Ashley...
By this time, Ashley had become the most hated man in Britain.
What else? Yeah, arms to rack. I mean, what next? Ashley, what's happening?
No longer just the pretty one in Girls Aloud, Cheryl was a star in her own right, with the status to do whatever she wanted. She knew one day it would happen. In her typically forthright manner, she'd already spoken about the band's limited shelf life.
I think it'd be foolish to think that people haven't thought about what they want to do after the band, because, I mean, it's 4 years down the lane now, and realistically, how long have we got? Another few, yeah, if that.
Cheryl is clever, and she knows it doesn't last forever, and she also understands that, you know, she as a brand will probably move on.
Cheryl dipped her lovely brave toes in the solo waters. American rapper will.i.am is big. Nearly 6 foot, in fact. Thanks to Cheryl, he got his first solo UK top 10 hit. What would she do next? Coming up...
I thought Simon Cowell had lost it. I thought, what are you thinking of?
Her Majesty the Cheryl...